Ladies and gentlemen, one and all, members of the TSC family, greetings and welcome back to Let's Play Asylum, the interactive teaser, episode number 3. I am of course your humble host, TheShadowCookie, and it has been several weeks ever since episode number 2, primarily due to real life keeping me quite busy. That, however, shall now change. Without further ado, let us get right back on track. When we last left off with Mr. Josh Mandel, he had just finished up examining the broken down cafeteria of the Hanwell Mental Institute. I sure love saying that. A rather old, abandoned, as well as probably haunted structure, just my opinion of course, filled to the brim with both decay and dust. Lots of dust. Afterwards, he found himself within this very corridor, one that apparently leads towards the male patient wing, beyond which he desires to locate the so-called tunnel of the damned. Why is he searching for it? The answers to that question are still a mystery to everybody. But that's enough vague exposition brought to you by MisterTSC for now. Let us continue the experience. It sure is a both grim and dark looking corridor. Which would be a proper place to start? I wonder, oh yes, do I ever wonder. What about these bars? Well, not necessarily bars, but you get the point. I am feeling curious. Please, Mr. Mandel, tell me more about them. Be so kind.
Most windows in the building are protected in this manner. Still, some inmates would tear apart the grids and mash their heads on the glass.
Jesus Christ. Not just tear them apart, but also smash their heads onto the glass? Sure, this is a mental asylum, no question about it, and within such places you normally keep people who are not at all mentally stable. But how unstable would you need to be to not just tear these solid-looking things apart, but also hurt yourself in the process? Sure, you are already hurting yourself by tearing them apart to begin with, but smashing your heads onto the solid glass? Yeah, that's the point here. It's all so solid. How would they tear it apart in the first place? The people in here were either incredibly unstable or feeling afraid. Afraid of what? Sure, if you need to stay within a asylum for the rest of your life, you are probably feeling scared out of your mind. If there is still a little bit of sanity left within your brains. But tearing these things apart? Who knows, maybe these... what would you call them? These gratings, these covers, whatever, were only brought into place, into position after the inmates went kinda crazy. Surely intriguing. Yes, MisterTSC is feeling intrigued, to say the least. And are those bloody handprints on that door? Well, that's just fabulous, is it not? The very door I'll probably need to head through very, very soon. And there's blood on it. How did it get there? Do I want to find out? Nope. I do want to figure out why Mr. Josh Mandel has come here in the first place, but certain questions are better left unanswered, you know? Such as the very question why there is blood on that door. It is all I am willing to state. That is blood. And I cares not. It can stay on that side of the invisible line I am drawing onto the floor right now. Turning around into this direction we shall go, even though there seems to be something blocking my path. How convenient. Well now, this sure looks like a tree that fell over and collapsed the corridor as a result. Anything? Ooh, anything else of interest? Why, yes, indeed. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen, a map. Yes, an old one, but still a map. I couldn't have asked for anything else. Let's try to find out where we are currently at. Jesus Christ. This is a large asylum. Courtyard, laundry, therapy room, kitchen, cafeteria. So we should be within this corridor. Alright, where does it lead to? The male patient wing? Into this long corridor? To high-risk male patient cells. The Tunnel of the Damned is supposed to be there. One of the supposedly most horrifying locations of the entire asylum. Will it be worth it in the very end? You sure chose a delightful location to visit, Mr. Mendel. And what's beneath the collapsed corridor? Yeah, beneath. Probably dirt. What's beyond the collapsed one? Well, plenty of other corridors and rooms for sure. Nothing of particular interest, though. Very well then, Mr. Mendel. Is there anything you'd like to contribute? Otherwise I am going to take my leave.
This asylum is huge.
Well, somebody certainly majored in obvious statements, but I am willing to agree. One final time, yes indeed. It is a huge asylum, and only the first floor even. The full game is going to be absolutely amazing.
This asylum is huge.
And clicking it a second time yielded nothing. Kinda figured as much. Then again, normally I dislike to click something a second time because it displeases me to hear the main character repeat him or herself. In this case though...
There's the infirmary, just a few steps to my left. Of course, I could have read the sign over the door.
I suppose that could have been another option, but the map simply caught my attention first at that moment in time.
I'm trying to remember the architectural style of this building.
Is that so? Well, don't look at me, good sir. Don't you dare. I know little to nothing about architecture, other than that, ooh, houses are pretty.
Kirkbride, that's it. A single linear construction housing all the required areas for the proper functioning of an insane asylum.
Well, you learn something new every day apparently, even within abandoned places.
It was believed that this style of architecture was conducive to the healing of patients, a notion that was completely disregarded by the 20th century.
Something tells me Mr. Mendel is not yet done rambling.
There were plans to modernize the construction, but I can't remember what happened.
Such a shame, but oh my, consider me impressed. Who would have thought that examining a certain spot on this map would grant us so much exposition? I should do it more often, definitely. So, what did we learn? This asylum was built in a certain kind of way to be conducive towards the healing of the inmates. But then the 20th century arrived, brought along plenty of changes and completely disregarded the original idea altogether. Oh well, at least we now know where we need to be at. Would have been quite simplistic to find out even without a map, but still, better safe than sorry. Well, those sure were some sweet 10 minutes of quality time just staring at an old piece of paper, but it is time to proceed. Can't delay the inevitable forever. This tree, though, I wonder if we can somehow try to squeeze our way past it. After all, look at those branches, they are not all that thick. Wanna give it a shot, Mr. Josh Mendel?
A tree seems to have fallen and collapsed this section of the corridor.
True story, bro, but just don't you try to avoid the subject. Look at those gaps, they are so huge. A fricking, I don't know, zeppelin, for the lack of a proper example, could fit through there.
No way I can go around this tree.
Oh, no way. So it's official now. I understand that the developers needed to somehow disguise their invisible wall, but seriously, those gaps. Gonna give this one more shot.
Something tells me this is an artificial obstacle created by the designers to prevent me from visiting the rest of the asylum. Those bastards.
Oh, fourth wall breaking humor. I love thee, so very delicious. Forgive me, Team Senscape. I did not know. I shall never question your logic again. It is the teaser that keeps on giving, and I am willing, more than willing, to take that kind of ridiculous explanation over none whatsoever, any day of the week. Thank you very much. Just think about how silly that would be within other types of video games. For example, the classic Super Mario 64. Everyone's favorite plumber walking up against an invisible wall and going, "Mamma mia, looks like there's an invisible wall here, that the developers placed it down because there is nothing beyond." That was my horrible Mario impression. But seriously, why can't more developers be like Team Senscape? So very humorous. I love it. Of course, you shouldn't grow too used to the fourth wall breaking. After all, this is only the very teaser of an upcoming horror game. Is that a button here? Maybe, but I can't press it. Oh well. Anything else? Jesus Christ. I am still in love with all of the detail. Just look at that tree, for example. All the rubbish and debris on the floor. It's awesome. More leaves. Did they fall through the windows? Nah, obviously not through these. They know that came from this very tree and were then blown all over the place by the wind. Are you still with me, by the way, one and all? Very good. Your patience pleases me. Now then, the male patient wing. I wonder, Mr. Josh Mandel, do you have anything else to talk about within your very journal? Well, we located the infirmary, sure, but what about the tunnel of the damned? Anything to add?
I swore I'd never return to that place, but I have no choice. I must go to the tunnel.
Who are you really, good sir? You've worked within this tunnel of the damned before, in the past. Were you a doctor? One of the orderlies? Why have you returned? But I believe we've postponed more than enough time by now. Here we are, the infirmary, and even some flickering lights going on beyond the door.
These doors lead to the infirmary, all right?
Yes, indeed they do. I wonder, can I read what's written down on that sign? Infirmary, founded in 1942, thanks to the generous donations of Mrs. Maria, I think, Iriardi. Mrs. Maria Iriardi. Alrighty then, so this place was founded by a woman, thanks to the generous donations. Makes me raise an eyebrow though. So, donations were required to build an infirmary? Are you saying there was no infirmary before these donations came in? It's just a random assumption, sure, but that would be quite suspicious. An asylum without an infirmary? Just what kind of treatment went down within these now abandoned halls? Maybe I do not want to find out. These bloody handprints. How old are they? How did they get here? Well, as long as it happened in the past, I will not worry too much about it. I can make up examining it though. Mr. Josh Mandel, what is it? Blood. Hopefully it's not Chris's blood. Nah, that would be just silly. Some medical equipment, old and rusted. A clipboard with plenty of documents.
Nothing worth noting on the corkboard.
Oh, is that so? Nothing worth noting? You're starting to remind me more and more of a certain Michael Arthate, Josh Mandel. Huh, that pile of rubbish over there? Surely there's nothing important hidden inside. Oh dear, look at all these papers. What if there are, I don't know, mysteries of the past hidden within? Just try to read. Then again, they could just be bills, schedules, and God knows what else. Alrighty then, against my better judgment, I am willing to ignore them for the time being. Yes, I certainly postponed enough time already. Shall we head into the infirmary, ladies and gentlemen? I don't think there's a choice. The infirmary sure looks inviting, does it not?
The malfunctioning light tubes are hurting my eyes.
Oh, my words exactly, Mr. Josh Mandel. The flickering lights, the buzzing sound of weak electricity, all of those, metal beds everywhere? What kind of infirmary is this supposed to be?
Even when it was clean and orderly a few years ago, the infirmary wasn't a cozy place.
I don't know about you, Mr. Mandel, but it really isn't a big surprise to me that the asylum got shut down eventually, if not even the bloody infirmary managed to improve over the course of time. What's with that breathing? Are you feeling scared, Mr. Mandel? Maybe. I wouldn't blame you. Good lord, these walls are a mess.
It's so very cold in here.
Huh. Well, I can't feel the coldness of the room, Mr. Mandel, and I am grateful for that. You shouldn't be surprised, though. This place was abandoned. Obviously there's not going to be a heating system in place. But electricity... Electricity, but no warmth? Who is keeping this place alive if it was abandoned? This doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Well, it's only this room between us and the male patient wing. Might as well try to spend as much time in here as possible before the inevitable occurs. What do we got? Ooh, I didn't notice this cork/clipboard up until now. With even more pages of paper as well as photographs and articles. Maybe we will be able to learn something from these. Could be. Anything else? Lots of bad, lots of junk. I am feeling more curious at the moment to check out this corkboard. Let us take a closer look. Maybe we will be able to figure out what happened here so long ago. I'll be damned. So many pages of paper, I don't know where to start. Which one to choose first? I really don't know. Some of them definitely look older than others. This up here catches my attention though, because of the big headline. Inmates being tortured. Huh. Sounds like a humble topic to start with, does it not? Inmates being tortured. Authorities are still at a loss following the wild accusations at Hanwell Mental Institute. Many staff members, including doctors, nurses and guards, have jointly issued a public statement where they insist that patients have been physically abused and maltreated. Jesus Christ. Well, lots of stuff always goes down behind closed curtains. I expected that kind of cruelty from a mental asylum. But who is responsible if doctors, nurses and guards reported it in? Is there somebody working against the rules and law here? No doubt about it. What else do we got though? Allow me to continue. Anyone interested in motor cars could probably... Wait a second, that has nothing to do with the headline at all. Still gonna read it though, for the sake of complicity. Probably handle all the makes being produced today without much trouble, and it wouldn't be hard to name a few of the early models which have gone to automobile haven, where gas is free and there's never a red light. Ah, that's so horribly dull. I don't care about automobiles, not whatsoever. Anything else? Some of them were beauts. For instance, in 1903, our firm announced emphatically, any car will run downhill. Most any will fairly blubbity herpaderp derp derp. In 1905, another company announced without blah-de-de-burp-a-dur. Yeah. Let's just forget about that. Inmates being tortured, ladies and gentlemen. What a great start. But why? Is there just some random doctor who gets great satisfaction out of torturing the mentally ill? People can be quite unique and special, can't they not? What else do we have, though? This just looks like a scheduling report. Administrative, professional, technician grade, company headquarters, register, receiving and evaluation section, medical supply section, and the list goes on. Remarks. Commanding officer? Medical administrative corps, also medical supply officer, dental chief nurse, etc., etc. Doesn't sound like anything particularly outstanding. Here we have what appears to be an old letter, but the writing's already started to fade away. I can't make anything out, not even a single word. Over here, this is just too much in the dark. Investigation? Illustigation? Wrote this report? Discuss what? Hospital, description, disease, summary things. Mysteries, ladies and gentlemen. Mysteries I can't make out whatsoever. Let's see. Anything else that wishes to be more interesting than inmates being tortured? Well, there is another article with a huge headline here. Renowned hospital for the insane shuts down. Ooh, are they talking about this place? It looks very, very old, but it is definitely the Henwell Mental Asylum. Perhaps now we can find out why it was shut down so suddenly. As of today, the Henwell Mental Institute, which achieved international recognition, so it was famous, after its latest head director Walter Henwell disclosed a series of outstanding medical breakthroughs, has ceased operations following a turbulent chain of events which involved heated discussions among the staff that ultimately came to public attention and outrageous accusations. So, the hospital was renowned, a location of great interest famous for medical breakthroughs, until those accusations hit the public. Maybe somebody tortured the inmates in order to gain his breakthroughs. It's the kind of scenario where people are expendable. Listen, this experiment here, it could lead to something amazing, but I need test candidates. Oh my. The building was closed down immediately and there it's ripped off, damn. However, we've got more still. Where persistent rumors of torture have survived to this day, although authorities performed exhaustive investigations, none of this was ever confirmed, and was attributed to unfounded and malicious gossip to harm their goodwill and positive image. Patients who were currently admitted to the institute are being moved elsewhere, mostly to nearby hospitals where possible. The remaining patients, who were deemed harmless, have been sent back to their families. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. This place used to run quite well, but then accusations came to the public. None of them were ever proven, but still the asylum was shut down. Sounds like nothing all that special. Yes, I know, torture is terrible, murderers are terrible, but there isn't anything like supernatural going down. There's probably more to it than just that, though. Who knows? Maybe Mr. Josh Mandel here was one of the people who used to torture inmates? Maybe Mr. Josh Mandel here is secretly a bad guy? Just another assumption of mine, though. What else? Water service, heating and cooling. Of course it's true. Clarksburg has a new Bryant dealer. Blah blah, that is a creepy looking face. Mr. Mandel sure could go for a heating system right about now, though. And that pretty much exhausts everything. The other articles just look like random stuff to me, nobody is interested in.
Several dated articles of no interest to me.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Dated articles of no interest. There is a photograph here, however. What could this be about? Several people sitting in a circle, and they sure look like the inmates. This guy, for example, his legs, they look terrible, and their clothes aren't anything special, not at all. This woman is trying to talk with him, I guess. It's like they are introducing themselves. Hello, my name is insert random name here, and I am within this asylum because I've done insert random accusation here. Who knows? That person though looks like a doctor standing in the background. A meeting. What could it represent? Who are these people? How did they end up here? Maybe the answers are somewhere out there. Last but not least, there is one final thing I can't ignore. Look at this article. There seems to be something underneath, but it looks totally different. It doesn't look like an article, it looks more like a random piece of paper with a drawing. Can I take this away, just for a second? What the hell is that supposed to be? Two people? I can make out that much. And the one in the front, I suppose that is trying to show how he is all bloody. And the guy in the back is holding out his arms with something in his hands. Did he just tear through this guy in the foreground? Is this supposed to imply that his stomach has been ripped open? He certainly looks evil, and this guy looks sad. Either sad or that one line here is supposed to be a deranged smile. I don't know what to make of this. But that's strange, alright. Definitely drawn by a crazy person. Maybe this is what happened to the inmates. God knows what happened to them. I don't want to look at this anymore. And that's all there is to this corkboard, ladies and gentlemen. Certainly informative. I like it. Within adventure games, especially first-person adventure games, I always enjoy to stumble upon a huge pile of articles. They just tell you so very, very much. It gets your thoughts going, and then you try to imagine all kinds of scenarios. What happened, what could have been, what might have happened, etc., etc. Very intriguing, to make a long story short. But of course, we can't stay here for all eternity. After all, we need to head into the male patient wing. Now, what is there to this room? Huh. Now that's a unique looking ceiling. I don't think I have ever seen anything quite like it before in my life. It is sadly not possible to check it out. At least not from this angle. What else do we got? This is supposed to be an infirmary? And Mr. Mandel said it himself. This place already looked not at all cozy back in the days. You received donations to build an infirmary, and this is the best you... Stat more blood on the floor. So much garbage. Wait a second. Well, this is a little bit too close for comfort. One scary looking door that leads into the male patient wing. But I don't want to be there just yet. No, instead... What is the deal with these... I don't know, glass containers here? There's something inside of them, something unnatural. Please tell me what they are supposed to be, Mr. Mandel.
Looks like some kind of organ. I'll be damned if I know which one.
Seriously? An organ? Ladies and gentlemen, random organs. Just sitting within this abandoned room. How long have they been here already? Why is there still electricity? This is starting to freak me out. You can't tell me that there hasn't been any activity in here within the most recent time. It just wouldn't make any sense. These organs, whom did they belong to, I wonder? This place is so freaking run down. It's insane.
Just loads of useless junk.
For once I am willing to agree. Plenty of very uncomfortable looking beds. Very uncomfortable. Ooh. What do we have here? A set of keys. Apparently somebody just left them here. Who knows how long ago. And now we stumbled upon them. I shall pick them up if it becomes a necessity. For now they can sit here.
You could put the best mattress you could find on those iron beds and they still wouldn't be comfortable.
Well, that's debatable, good sir. I mean, it all depends on how thick the mattress is. If it is a mattress as thick as, for example, the height of the bed, then you could surely have a nice and comfortable nap here. But I can assume that the asylum didn't at all give the inmates comfortable mattresses. They probably just gave them these harsh beds. Deal with it. There's still more to this room, no doubt. But that is going to be for next time, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, MisterTSC is still keeping his slow pace alive. As I said already, join me next time if you want to learn even more about the Hanwell Mental Asylum and its abandoned corridors. We are slowly but surely stumbling upon dark secrets of the past. My name has been TheShadowCookie, aka MisterTSC, and I shall, of course, as always, see you all next time. P.S. There are heatings over there, but they are probably not working. Am I correct, Mr. Mandel?
The radiators aren't working, and it shows. The cold here is glacial.
Glacial? Also, heatings, radiators, whatever you want to call them. Lesson learned though, kids. If you want to check out an abandoned asylum at night, bring a coat along. Electricity, but no warmth. How peculiar. Ladies and gentlemen, until next time, the male patient wing awaits.